So I want to talk about social media for a second because there are brands out there that are built entirely off of one social media platform. And this is possible to do if you want to. I actually do an entire course on developing social media content. I'll link to that in, the text below. But this is what I want to talk about here a little different. What your brand is can impact what your social media platforms you choose to use, or whether you choose to use a website, or however you structure the core of your brand. But I think it's really important to consider because what your preferred style, look, imagery, colors, and all that, what choices you make are definitely going to influence what type of social media you use. And vice versa, if there's a particular type of social media that you use or a particular place online that you like to hang out, that can also influence your brand. So, for example, there are certain brands who have taken off on Instagram. I follow a few. I like Nathan Pyle, who makes comics about aliens, and he has a book published. I like Mary Andrew. She does these really beautiful watercolor drawings, and she wrote a memoir, and her content is very relatable and very visually appealing. I like Charlie Mackesy, who also has a book published. He does these beautiful ink illustrations of a boy, his horse, his mole, and a fox or something. And they're very uplifting and inspirational style images. There are also quite a number of activists on there who also have books and who took off because of the content they were developing. Jamie Windust is a non-binary person who talks about non-binary things. They are very vocal and have been on a lot of TV shows. They have a very distinct image and a very distinct brand, and they have a book published. And the book came after the brand. They built this whole activist style platform on Instagram, and now they have a book coming out. So you can base your brand off of a method of communication if you want to. Now I know presumably we're writers here and authors, and our preferred method of communication is writing, but you can also do video, you can also do blogs, you can also do any kind of social media. And I think that's certainly worth considering when you're thinking about how to build your brand. Where do you want to be spending your time? You're going to be spending a lot of time online if you're doing any marketing at all. Where do you want to be spending your time? That said, you might also choose to not use any social media at all. Maybe, for example, you use your website as the core of your brand. All of your content, maybe you do direct sales, everything about you is based on your website, and then you do, paid advertising. You do Google advertising, Amazon advertising, BookBub advertising, whatever you want to do, but it is all based off of your website, and that's your core. That's totally fine, but it's certainly worth considering. Maybe you don't have social media or a website. All you have is your profiles on your distributor websites, and all of your marketing is based around paid advertising. You can do that if you want to, in which case you might not need a tagline. You might not need imagery. You might not need colors. All you need are book covers and money to pay for the ads. So I think it's really important to consider where you're going to be using this brand, what platforms you're planning on using, whether that's social media, a website, Amazon, or paid ads, how you're going to be communicating with potential readers about your books. And what choices you decide to make there are definitely going to influence what you need as part of your brand and what you don't need as part of your brand.